Tens of thousands of United Auto workers are on strike this morning for the first time since 2007. They failed to reach a new agreement with General Motors. Our CBS 2's V. Nguyen is live at the Union Chicago office. And V, this is affecting dozens of plants in 9 states.
Audrina, that's right. Many of those plants are here in the Midwest. The local union here has been keeping members up to date with negotiations. Both sides will meet again this morning. GM employees from Indiana to Michigan walked off factory floors at midnight, shutting down 33 manufacturing plants in 9 states and 22 distribution warehouses. The union has contracts with GM, Ford, and Chrysler, but the strike was only called at GM. Right now, Chrysler and Ford employees are under a contract extension, so this won't have an impact on the Ford Chicago assembly plant. The union and GM have been trying to come to terms on a new 4-year contract, but made little progress. The union wants better wages, affordable health care, and job security. GM says it's offering pay raises, billions of dollars worth of factory investments, and higher profit sharing for union workers.
We've also offered wage increases and/or lump sum increases over the life of this contract.
Now, President Trump tweeted yesterday saying in part, "Here we go again, get together and make a deal." Again, both sides will continue their negotiations this morning. Reporting live from the South Side, V. Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
This Monday morning, UAW members officially started striking at GM plants all across the country. UAW leadership voted unanimously on Sunday to have workers walk off the job when contract negotiations with GM hit a wall. Here's what's at stake in this strike. 49,000 workers at GM plants across the country are involved. General Motors is expected to lose $250 million each day at its assembly plants. Members that are walking the picket line will get $250 a week in strike pay. Let's get to Larry Spruill. He joins us now live this morning with more on the strike and what are the holding points. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Rhonda. Now, we spoke to the UAW workers here on site last night and this morning, and they know they are making history, but they also say it's not even about that. They simply want a fair contract. Let me step out of the way so you can just see how early it is, but workers are still out here with their signs in their hands saying on strike. They tell me that that sign is in itself is a huge statement. At 11:59 Sunday night, just like clockwork, and as promised, UAW workers are now on strike. The crowd grew in just hours, taking over things outside the GM Hamtramck plant. These UAW workers are striking, all for one reason.
Quit playing. Get this contract together.
Shantae McMichael with Local 22 tells me this is not a game.
We're here for a fair contract. We're fighting. We're going to stand together.
At 11:59 Sunday night, these workers walked off their jobs in hopes of getting a fair contract. Now, the union's 4-year contract with GM expired Saturday. Both GM and union reps met inside the Renaissance Center Saturday in hopes of coming to some deal, but that did not happen. Instead, Local 4 cameras recorded frustrated UAW President Gary Jones, seen here in the pink embroidered UAW shirt, leaving through a back door after making an impassioned speech to local leadership, leaving the UAW GM Vice President to talk.
President Jones has said we do not take this lightly. This is our last resort. It represents great sacrifice and great courage on the part of our members and all of us. We are standing up for fair wages. We are standing up for affordable, quality health care. We are standing up for our share of the profits.
But UAW did announce a possible strike, and as promised, 49,000 workers across the country started picketing Sunday at midnight, marking this the largest strike against any U.S. business since 2007, when UAW members walked away from talks with GM. And the talks are supposed to start back up earlier this morning, but there are still a lot of questions. Now, the workers out here, while they're on strike, they only get $250 a week. Can they survive off that? Do they trust the UAW leadership in spite of all the controversy? I'm working on that part of the story at the top of the hour. We're live in Hamtramck this morning. Larry Spruill, Local 4 News Today.
All right, Larry, hopefully they can come to a mutually agreeable contract in the very near future.
Plants in 9 states are shut down as thousands of United Auto Worker members are on strike. Now, this is a live look at the picket lines in Detroit.
Negotiations start back up at 10 o'clock this morning, but the union's top negotiator says both sides are still far apart. CBS 4's Laura Podesta explains.
General Motors workers across the country walked off the job at midnight. More than 46,000 members of the United Auto Workers went on strike after contract negotiations failed.
We are standing up for fair wages. We are standing up for affordable, quality health care.
It's the union's first national strike since a 2-day walkout in 2007.
With the plants all going out at the same time, I think it'll make it a lot more serious for General Motors to come to the table in good faith.
In a video released by General Motors, Executive Vice President Gerald Johnson says the automaker offered to invest more than $7 billion in plants and new product programs.
We've also offered wage increases and or lump sum increases over the life of this contract.
The strike shuts down over 50 facilities in 9 states.
That was CBS 4's Laura Podesta reporting.